We've all felt the frustration of grinding out an 80-hour week at a job, feeling completely stuck, and assuming that extreme labor or a lucky break are the only ways to finally get ahead. But if financial success strictly equaled the amount of hard work you put in, the hardest working dishwashers and line cooks in the world would be billionaires. The issue comes from confusing money with wealth. Money is just how we transfer time. It's a system of IOUs, social credits society hands you for providing value in the past. Wealth is the actual goal. Wealth is having assets that earn for you while you sleep. It's the physical factory operating overnight, or the computer program serving customers without your active involvement. This framework comes from Naval Ravikant. As an entrepreneur and investor, he treats wealth creation as a definitive, learnable skill. He distilled his entire philosophy on building wealth into a blueprint consisting of just 2 words: productize yourself. The yourself half of this equation demands that you arm yourself with what Naval calls specific knowledge. This is knowledge you cannot get in a traditional classroom. If society can train you to do a job, it can easily train someone else to replace you. You find your specific knowledge by looking backward. It emerges from the things you did effortlessly as a child or teenager, driven entirely by your own genuine curiosity rather than chasing whatever happened to be trendy. For example, Naval grew up as a latchkey kid, spending his afternoons reading alone in a New York City public library. That early obsession with absorbing information quickly laid the foundation for his edge as a tech investor. The ultimate litmus test is simple. Your specific knowledge must feel like play to you, but look like work to everyone else. Nobody can compete with you on being you. When you combine your unique DNA with absolute personal accountability, you become an irreplaceable asset. But possessing specific knowledge isn't enough on its own. Delivering that knowledge 1 hour at a time is just renting out your labor, which will never make you wealthy. You have to scale. Historically, scaling required permissioned leverage. You had to convince investors to give you their capital, or convince laborers to follow your lead. Tycoons of the 20th century built massive fortunes entirely on physical labor and immense capital deployment. Managing an enormous labor force might look impressive to your parents, but it is the oldest, most fought over, and most difficult form of leverage to actually manage. The modern path to wealth relies on permissionless leverage, scaling through code and media. Software and media act as an endless army of robots. Unlike a human workforce, these tools have zero marginal cost of replication. You can serve 10 people or 10 million without increasing your expenses. They work tirelessly for you while you sleep, without ever asking for a salary. The internet removed the gatekeepers. You no longer need anyone's permission to write a book, record a podcast, or deploy code that scales your specific knowledge infinitely. Society will pay you incredibly well for providing things it wants, but does not yet know how to get. Visionary creators apply this by taking their specific knowledge, building the exact product people are waiting for, and using permissionless leverage to scale it to millions. Because it costs nothing to duplicate a great digital product, production consolidates. The absolute best person in the world at any specific thing gets to provide it to the entire planet. This tweet plainly states the reality of the timeline. There are no get-rich-quick schemes. Those are just someone else getting rich off you. To make the math work, you have to find an industry where you can play long-term games with long-term people. Every significant return you will ever see in life, whether you are building financial wealth, deepening relationships, or expanding your knowledge, is the direct result of compound interest. Keep redefining and tweaking your focus until you are definitively the best in the world at your specific niche. Stop renting out your time. Build an asset around your genuine curiosity, apply infinite leverage, and let the compounding take over until you secure true, lasting freedom.